University of California, Santa Barbara, and I want to start with a little bit of audience participation. So if you can all yell out to me, where is your study site? Where, like, broadly, specifically, where do you do your work? All right, so no matter where your research takes you, whether that's the Central Valley of California, Nepal, or Santa Cruz Island off the coast of Santa Barbara, there are always stakeholders that you need to engage. What I mean by stakeholders, that can be local citizens, just the everyday people living where you do your work. That might be other nonprofit organizations that are also involved with work in the area. That could be politicians, decision makers. That could be the other researchers beyond your own research area. And what I want to argue today is that we need to do better as a community to engage our stakeholders. Because right now, what we're doing is really a form of data colonialism. What I mean by that is we come in, we take our data, we leave, we publish, it stays within our own community. It really doesn't expand beyond that. It's very extractive. And what I would like to argue is that we need to move towards something that's more engaged scholarship, working with the people, the organizations also involved in our study sites. So my own work is in Nepal. One way that I've worked with this is by actually putting my research within information desires by the local communities in Nepal. Before I even started my PhD, put in proposals to NSF, I had stakeholder consultations to ask, what's important for you? Related to water, because that's what I'm interested in, but what are your questions and what would actually be useful? And I understand we don't all have that flexibility to do that, but there are other ways that we can be more engaged, such as working with citizen science. So I engage with local school teachers in Nepal. They collect water samples for me throughout the monsoon season, throughout the year. And that's just one way to engage, to actually have people, involved in the scientific process, understand how data is collected, think about where information is coming from, and understand the data itself. And the value of this, by working with citizens or by working with other NGOs, is I get new information, new knowledge. People who lived in this area have a much better understanding of the watershed than I do. I also am building trust in science, which, as a lot of us have hinted to today, is really important in the current political climate. There's this kind of distrust of facts, of information, of data. And I really think that by engaging people and by engaging the public, by other stakeholders in a very humble way, we might rebuild some of that trust. And finally, have real impact, to actually move beyond the broader impacts that you write in your NSF grant, to have projects and tangible outcomes beyond your publications. And so I really think a challenge for us as a scientific community, and something just to mull over during this week, is what can we do to engage, to be better scientists, to really engage in our communities beyond the people here at the Moscone Center, and to try to have better dialogues with the public, with NGOs, with politicians, and to bring science to be accessible for everyone. Thank you.